I'm going to make a quick video on how to turn a Linux machine into a router, which I used on my thesis for testing multipath TCP. I'm going to attach the appendix, and it should have all the steps that I used to make a functional environment. So I built the environment, and then I rebuilt it and wrote everything down. So go to the attached appendix, go to Appendix B, network setup, go to Linux shapers setup. So the shapers, we use network emulation to like drop random packets or control how much bandwidth there is on the path, and we use a Proxmox lab. That's not important. You're here to learn how to make a Linux box into a router. First thing, you want to go to configure IP forwarding, and I have an example over here. First thing, you want to make sure that net IPv forwarding is turned on. That is what turns it into a router. It tells if you get an IP address and you have a direction to send it, you can send it out. Second thing, you want to make sure that's permanent. So you're going to go to the sysctl conf, and you're going to turn on net IPv4. Make sure that's set to 1. Next, you want to make sure the NAT is on. This is where I got tripped up before. I got tripped up at every step on this. We want to IP tables S. You should have an accept all. I included this J. Some of these steps I don't know super in depth how they worked, but these are all the steps that I did to make it work. Make it permanent with this command. And then we want to make sure that masquerade NAT is on. If NAT is not on, that's going to break your routing. So you want to run that. And then last thing, and this is the difficult part, is you have to manually configure the IP tables. There's not automatic routing, so it has to know what the routing tables are. So IP route show. Those are the routes I used in the lab. Where do we define these? I define them in, you can add the routes here with this command, IP route add network via IP device. Either add the IP routes command to the etc rc local file, or add them to the etc network interfaces. So RC local is an older way of doing things. It runs commands at startup. So let's see what I wrote there. That's not, I used the network interfaces, but I did use this for something. So yeah, I used the RC local for the NAT at the beginning. And then for the interfaces, I configured them then. So here where it says what your network interfaces IP addresses will be, you add the up IP route, and this is to delete it and then re-add it. I don't know why I had a delete and re-add, but like after the hundreds of hours of working on the thesis, yeah, at some point I'm just grateful that they worked. So on delete and then add, and that worked for the routes that I used. Anyways, that's 4 minutes. This appendix is going to be attached, and it also includes a Proxmox install. It includes the Linux VM setup to try out the MPTCP. If anyone wants, send me a message. I'll have the whole thesis linked at ECU.